Hello and welcome to American Truck Simulator. I've pulled a bit too far forward, but I'm sure it won't be any drama whatsoever. We are picking up two trailers, because we can do that now, from Walbert in Tucson. We're going to Kentayana up north in Arizona. And we're going to have a bit of a look at the latest public beta that's been out for nearly a month now, I reckon. And I think I've cocked this approach up entirely, yeah, but we'll give it a good old go. We're in the 389 Peterbilt. It's a lovely piece of... Oops, we didn't say that. Got that thing there, try and rotate the wheel. Yeah, we've cocked this up massively, we should have come in the other way, but I was trying to be clever in that, so I didn't have to blindside. But it looks like I will have to. So security man over there, surly security man, he'll get a... Gear, please. Gear, thank you. It does seem a bit finicky with that. Maybe I'm just expecting it to be more rapid than it is. Could be me, though. We'll nip it in here. Get this thing turned around. I changed some settings with my steering wheel, so now I have lots of resistance at low speed, but for some reason, there is no centering going on at speed, which is a weird sensation when you're driving. Like the steering wheel just wobbly in your hands. Apparently, you know, that's how it is, even though it most certainly is not. Oh, there we go. Just get the clutch all the way down. I think my problem is that there is no engaging point in the clutch. Like usually in the car I normally drive, there is a sort of... You don't have to press the clutch fully down to change gear. And in this I do, which is causing me a bit of confusion. But we'll try and rotate it here and get it lined up. It's a bit of a tight one because it's a double trailer. We will see if we can nail this. Oh, I don't know. I've cocked it. We need to pull forward. So forward we go. There are also triples in the game, but for some reason I haven't seen them yet. They just don't come up regardless of where I am in Nevada. I don't see them at all. I know they're in there because I can see them in the files, but there's no way for me to actually drive them, which is a bit annoying. I would like to try and drive them, but I've even tried a... what is it? You can do a false economy reset in order to try and trick this. I've read that on the internet, but no, so far no luck. Haven't just seen them. Don't know why, they just don't appear. Oh, we're getting closer now, though. That's a problem with these big lorries. I don't know how anyone who drives the big W900, that one there, for example, manages to hook it up, but they do. I think I've got it here now, though. I just got to get it lined in, connect it, connect. There we go, we got it. Fuck yeah, we do. Bring up this thing here. Engage handbrake, coupling up. Oh yeah. Engage that. Gear please. Forward low. Get rid of that. We don't need to see that. Now we just got to do this nice and carefully. This is easy though. I can just turn now. I need to also turn now because we have... Oh god. Oh god. Right. Okay, this is very tight. Yeah. I'm going to lose the ability to speak now because I sort of got to try and do something here and I don't know what it is. Stop. We don't want to twist everything too much. And then we've got to turn the wheel around. There we go. Wave to the surly security bloke we pulled out here. This was actually the most tricky one. We've got loads of pivot points. Look at those pivots point in action. Oh, it's so cool. So cool. I would like to try triples. I would also, well, we get to that a bit later on, but this is the new 1.28. Oh, yes, it is. We need to, first of all, hang on, let's do the map first. We're here in Tucson, driving from the Walbert Distribution Center, and we're going all the way up past Phoenix, past Camp Verde, past Flagstaff, and up here to Kentayana. Do we want to try and go a different route than the one marked? It's not longer, actually. That's actually quite decent, isn't it? And have we driven on most of it? I think I've driven on most of it, but this certainly will be quite an interesting drive. I'd also get to discover parts of the map that I have not yet seen. So that will be nice. Let's do that indeed. As I was saying, though, this is 0.28. They have homogenized or streamlined or whatever, you know, business word you want to use. The version numbers between Euro and American Truck Simulator, which is a very nice thing. So whenever the big updates come out, they're called the same thing in both games, which is logical, really, I have to say. Clever thinking, those people. they should do that for a job. They're quite good at it. So they're obviously paired up now, and it means that features are sort of being co-developed, the games are being co-developed, makes a lot of sense. It also means that we get the same features in both games, which is very nice. So for this time round, what we're seeing is obviously we've got doubles and triples if you're in America in certain parts, if it works for you. And in Europe, although it seems that they haven't quite gotten it right with the European Modular Standard, as they're technically called, that is genuinely a thing in Europe. The doubles in Europe, they're a part of the European Modular Standard, which is a European Modular System. I should use the correct terminology if I'm going to try and do that, shouldn't I? They're part of this thing that's currently on trial in a couple of places. Basically, what happened, to give you the history of that, Sweden and Finland have these big lorries that can take a lot of weight, and they sort of need them because they're quite big countries, quite rural and that. It's sort of like Scandinavia's answer to Australia, where they also have road trains. But the European Union didn't allow any of that, so obviously it had to go on tilt gears. God, dear God. Oh, we just managed to nail it there. Yeah, as I was saying, they've got that there, so the European Union decided to try and do this modular thing, where lorries are allowed to be a bit longer than they normally are. Oh, God. I was nearly killed by my own throat. Yeah, the European lorries are now, if you drive those doubles, or EMS lorries, as they're now abbreviated into, you're only allowed to drive them on certain roads, and in certain areas, like industrial complexes, you are allowed to drive in some of those. But the advantage is you can have up to 60 tons as your max allowed weight on those things, which is a big improvement over... Hang on, have I cocked it up already? I bloody have. I should have gone off there. That's because I'm talking and the GPS isn't redirecting me. Well, what we're going to do then is... Can we get rid of that there? Well, I mean, I can't do a U-turn here, mate. And the nearest place I can do a U-turn is up here. So, I mean, we've committed here, haven't we? So pop this there. It'll take a couple more hours, but it's okay. We're not in a rush. This, of course, has a World of Trucks job, so it's based on real time rather than in-game time. But yeah, you're allowed to have longer lorries in Europe, up to 25.5 metres, and they're allowed to carry, or they're allowed to have a max total weight of 60 tons, which is an improvement. I believe the maximum normal limit is 40 tons on a lorry and a trailer combined. So obviously you can carry a bit more, and if you have two EMS lorries, you can obviously save one normal lorry. So there are logical reasons for why you would run that, but we'll get to that if we do a Eurotruck video. Regardless of that though, just a quick other note, they're only allowed in Finland, Sweden, Denmark, certain parts of Germany, just to make it a bit confusing, and Holland and Belgium they're allowed in. Not Norway, which is a bit odd, but let's not argue about that. Other than the American version, so there are also specifications here. In Nevada, for example, you're allowed triples, and in the rest of the parts you're allowed doubles, and it varies in other states, I believe, as well, which is a bit odd, but what have you, that's how it is, that's how it is. I've also seen some comments regarding physics changes. I haven't noticed any. But maybe that's just in Euro Truck Simulator. There are a few differences between the two, regardless of the version numbering and that. So maybe that's just for that. I haven't noticed it, so I can't comment on it. There is also some updated light flares, which I think it's one of those updates that I haven't noticed. But if I revert back to an old version, I will immediately notice, and it will immediately become unplayable. Because I don't know what to look for. That's the thing. I don't know what to look for. I would also like to point out that I'm at engine hour 999. So, oh no, God, the sun's out. The sun is out. It shouldn't be out. Hang on a second. Yeah, indeed, the sun's come out, and that obviously means that I can't use the track IR without closing my curtains, so people probably think I'm some sort of suicide bomber. Jesus Christ, you absolute bellend. You was just sitting there right next to me, just, dilly-dallying about. Fucking pass me then, you bellend. I completely forgot where I was because I had to go away, and then that twat's in front of me. I'll grab a quick drink then and try and see if I can get back on track. No, I can't. Yeah, I was talking about the. Yeah, I was talking about the light flare. So apparently they updated that. I don't know. Didn't notice it. Can't point it out in any way. If I did, and I think that's about it for this time round. Other news from SCS is, in terms of Euro Truck Simulator, we have a new DLC coming of Italy. Very nice. Will be interesting to see. The screenshots so far look gorgeous. Absolutely stunning scenery. It just looks to be really well designed. It looks to be the best thing so far. Although we'll have to wait and see with New Mexico, of course. That should be coming presumably within the year. They've been teasing it for a very long time. I would actually have thought we'd have seen it around sort of this-ish time, along with the new Scania for Euro Truck Simulator, which is still ongoing, I believe. That has been confirmed as being the next lorry that's going to be released, so that would be very nice. It looks absolutely gorgeous out and about. I've seen them in the flesh with, you know, liveries and that on, and they really do look bloody lovely. So that I'm very much looking forward to once we see that. Don't know when. Nobody's said anything about it yet. They don't want to say because, you know, there are sort of approval processes and all that you need to go through, which can take time. We know they're working on the Renault T as well, but we haven't heard anything about that in a long time, so I'm assuming that that project is on the back burner, if not scrapped. It just seems a bit odd that we haven't heard anything about it for a very long time, even though it has been confirmed as in development, and that was shown off way back before Vive la France came out. And I think a lot of us expected it to be released alongside Vive la France, but it wasn't. So I'm guessing that's just out of the picture now. But it would be nice if we found out more about it. Italy, of course. Don't know if we'll see the new Iveco. They did make a new version, the XP and NP. Although I struggle to find out whether or not they're just the, you know, natural gas powered versions or other weird versions. Don't know if they're actually new, but I know the smaller Iveco has had a facelift, and apparently DAF has also done a facelift on the XF. So it'll be interesting to see if that'll be coming soon. It's a minor facelift. It's not like a new generation or anything like that. So it doesn't require all the bells and whistles. It's just a bit of nipping and tucking. It's probably an indication that it's at its midlife at the moment, so it'll probably get a new version in a couple of years, if we are to go by their usual cycles. So we've got that to come, hopefully. Presumably the models will get right onto that, as DAF is a fairly popular lorry maker in Europe. I can also take a moment to apologise for the lack of videos recently. I've just sort of, you know, run out of time in midday. That sort of happens. I usually am home between 3 and 4 in the afternoon, just depending on whenever I catch a bus and if said bus is late, or if I need to go shopping or do other things on my way home. So, and then, you know, you just got to come home. You can't just immediately go, that's it, onto recording video. It's nice with just a bit of a breather when you get in, like a bit of a thing to eat or something like that. A lovely little thing to just say, all right, the work day's over now, it's time to enjoy yourself a bit. So that can take you, you know, that could be half an hour-ish if you end up watching YouTube, which I'm guilty of. And then it's like 4 or half 5, and then at like 5-ish I've got to think about what's for dinner, and that kind of makes it more troublesome. And then, you know, dinner is had, and I need to clean up and do the dishes and prepare lunch for the following day, and then I usually go for a run at about 7, and then obviously that takes about an hour-ish in total. Then I need to shower, providing I don't end up on YouTube watching stuff again, which is quite likely to happen if I'm honest. And then it's like 9 in the evening and I'm sort of winding down and getting ready to go to bed. So it's usually I sort of run out of time unless I go, yes, we're making a video today. So they may get a bit infrequent, but I'll try and do at least 1 or 2 a week. It's just a thing that I do because I enjoy doing it, so I got to, you know, enjoy doing it when I'm doing it. So it may step down a bit, I don't know. God, gears, they're very difficult to do. So yeah, that would probably, hopefully, yeah, I'll try and do it basically, but I can't make any promises. Why are we all the way over here? We need to be on the road. We're in the beautiful part here. I mean, this looks absolutely gorgeous, this. Absolutely outstanding. We have also had confirmation that they are working, probably slowly, on updating Euro Truck Simulator 2's base map into the newer, higher quality standard. I think Germany certainly goes all the way back to before Euro Truck Simulator was a thing, which makes it very old. I also think a couple of the lorry models, like the old Scania it has, is also from around that time, which is why that looks a lot worse. So we know they're working on loads of things, it just takes them a long time. Why are we braking? We're braking. I'm going in it. Jesus. It would be nice if there was an indication of what was happening here, because there's no way you can keep a safe distance to anyone out here. I sort of had to bait on it there. Apparently we are on the city limit of Globe. Apparently we've just reached the city limit of Globe. Stop, stop. How much room do I have in front of me? I've got miles of room. Like, I can close, how far can I close to these? Oh, bugger me, I can close all the way up here. Christ. Okay, well that gives me loads more room than I thought. Let me move the microphone a bit closer. And now we are moving off. No, let's do it in first. Obviously, driving with these double trailers out here is a bit different than driving with your regular ones. Although they seem to follow you quite well, because they have all of those dollies and all of the or bogies or whatever you call them. And we're going towards... Are we... Hang on, where are we? Oh, we're over here. Why is there a sign for Tucson? Oh, because if we go right, we go towards Tucson. If we go left, which we... Hang on, am I in the right lane here? I feel like I'm cocking up. I am cocking up. Well, it's a good thing nobody's on me outside. Sorry. I'm going to be a massive dick here. I'm allowed to be a dick, though. Bring us over here. Oh, we even get an arrow. I like getting an arrow. Yeah, these are fun to drive, though. They're very long, and you sort of have to plan out your manoeuvres and sort of just take it all into account. They're by no means as difficult to drive as the oversized freight you get in American Truck Simulator. They are really good fun to drive. They're much better than the... we don't need to change lanes. This lane is closing down. So we will just stay here. Yeah, they're a lot bigger, a lot wider, a lot longer. They've got many other things. The European ones are just a trailer with many wheels that sort of turn with you. This is just so much cooler. And you've got flags on the front. You've got a banner that's as oversized. Yes, please. That's what I want. So what I want. It's so cool. Like, I've got about 50-50 split between American and Euro Truck Simulator, if you look at my playtime. I believe I'm up to 170-ish hours in American Truck Simulator, and I'm about 300 and something in Euro Truck Simulator. So it's about, 50% here. Which is, I just think it's a better game. I just think it's more polished and better. It's just, it's very shiny, it's very pretty, and it works very well indeed. If you are new, I would recommend picking this up oh, look at that view. Yeah, this is why I say that, why you recommend this over Euro Truck Simulator, because it looks really pretty. You've got big cool lorries and everything, and it's very cool, and we know the map is going to get fucking huge. Like, in about 17 years, when they've actually added in a couple more states and we've gone coast to coast, which is what I think they're currently working on, as we are sort of building on from California. Then we had Nevada, and then we had Arizona, which is where we currently are. Now they're doing New Mexico. So I'm guessing they're just going to add on Texas, and then Oklahoma, and then the other ones are on the other side. Is it Louisiana? Are we all the way already over in Louisiana? And then, like, Alabama, and then, oh god, then we're into Florida. Then we are coast to coast. Blimey! That would be cool once we get there. That should be about 2020. We'll be in, like, Alabama. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to this, and I'm just enjoying it as we go along with it here. Hello to the Kenworth driver over there. I do prefer the Peterbilt. I saw one the other week, and they're gorgeous. I saw it 379, not the 389. But the 379s, oh my god, they're gorgeous. They were everything I expected them to be, and it just looks cool. I also saw a Scania T today, which was very cool. It was very pretty. It was blue with white sort of stickers on the side. It was absolutely gorgeous. I also saw a 113, the 3 Series Scania, the old one. This one driving sort of in the sort of lower middle part of Denmark, and it's gorgeous. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. If you do drive in that region, you'll probably have seen it. I see it a lot on the motorway. I see it pretty much every time I go down there, which is quite weird. But yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely stunning old thing. I think it's just locally to the area. I don't think it does any sort of proper hauling. I think it's just a local truck, but it looks gorgeous. I mean, those old ones are bloody gorgeous. It's just a shame that... Well, I don't know if it's a shame, but it's just... In America, apparently, you can like drive lorries from like 1980 and no dramas these days. But in Europe, you're not going to be allowed anywhere near any city centres. I mean, most city centres these days are covered by environmental zones. Sort of like the London congestion charge, but not, because you don't charge to drive in them. But you're only allowed to drive in them in lorries if you have the right type of engine. I believe they are now capped at Euro 5, I think. Like anything below Euro 5 and you're not allowed within the environmental zones of like Copenhagen and Aarhus. They don't allow that. And you're going to get quite heavily fined if you don't follow it. And you will be fined if you're caught by a traffic policeman. The average Bobby won't know anything about it, of course, but if you're caught by a traffic policeman, then you are dead in the water. There are, of course, exceptions if you are like the fire service and you've got like an old beat-up water tender or an old, normal fire truck, and you're not based within those environmental zones. If you're going in to assist, if you are a fire service, you can drive in there all you like, regardless of whether or not you are covered by the environmental zone. Because, shit's on fire, yo! We need help, and we don't really care what it is. You can make exceptions in these cases, of course. Yeah, and that's the difference. In America, that sort of stuff will be unheard of. Like with speed limiters. That's a thing in Europe. Every lorry is governed at 90 kilometers an hour, and you can't go faster than that. You're not allowed to, and you would get fined. Like in sort of early summer, late spring, there was, and of course it was, a Russian lorry driver on the Danish motorway somewhere, I don't remember where. He was caught going, I think it was 110, which is about 65-ish miles an hour, on the motorway, whilst drunk. Like, there are so many things wrong here that you can't possibly be any wronger. I mean, he was done, I believe the lorry was seized, and he's obviously never allowed to drive in Denmark again. Like, well, he will be allowed, but, obviously, it's quite bad. He was also sentenced to prison, which I think he has to serve... I don't know what the limit is, but of course, being the EU, I don't know if Russia's a part of that, so maybe he'll have to serve it here. I know that in the EU, there are these reciprocal prison system things going on, where if you are, say, a Belgian citizen and you are convicted of a crime in the Czech Republic, then if it's over a certain duration, you will have to serve it in your home country. Which makes sense, it sort of does. Because, you serve it in your home country, which means you're not burdening the country you committed the crime in. I mean, you could say you're punishing your own country, but really, it's the EU, basically. Just without the United Kingdom next year. The idiots they are. But, they've chosen to do it, so, don't let the door hit you on the way out, as far as I'm concerned. You voted to leave, you will have to leave. It does seem like they want all the benefits of the European Union without actually being in the European Union, which is not how it works, and I hope the EU people actually have the balls to tell them that. But I don't know, because of course it is the European Union, so you don't really know. But enough about that, let's talk about other things. Let's not get too political here. Yeah, that wouldn't be allowed that would be unheard of in America, first of all, that all lorries would be governed at a certain speed. Oh no, we need to drive very fast in our lorries, and we need to have hopelessly outdated gearbox systems, and all of that. 45. So let's go down here. There we go. Oh god, I've slowed right down. Much righter down than I need it to. Although we're now going into 35, so we'll just sit here at 35. No point in going any faster. 25. Oh yeah, I forgot we were in Arizona. Apparently, you're only allowed to do 25 miles an hour in cities in Arizona. Don't know what's about the city streets in Arizona that's so wild and reckless compared to the rest of America. They can only do 25, but that's how it is. I can't argue with that. What I can and will argue about is the stupid way they use their fucking stop signs. You have a junction with good sight lines and good visibility. No, you need to come to a full stop. Well, guess what, game? I'm not gonna fucking do it. You're not my mum. Ah, bastard light. Bastard. I could very nearly have run that, but I didn't want to. Is the constabulary nearby? Guess it will do, yeah, you know. Oh yeah, we went over 1,000 hours. We're now at 1,004 hours. Completely missed that. How many miles? 40,000 miles. That's some miles per... Oh, no, 40. That's 400 miles an hour. I've gone 400 miles an hour in this thing. Fuck me. Or is it 40 miles an hour? Maybe the average speed is 40 miles an hour. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? Yeah, probably 40 miles an hour rather than 400. That would be a bit insane. Wheels into box with speed. There's a policeman. Look, we're not minding our business. Just driving along here, officer. Nothing to say. Nothing to see. Just driving, you know. Hang on. I've also had a thought, because I read last night a book where they talked about Tombstone. And is that not over here-ish? Oh, I don't think that's in there. It's alongside. Oh no, I don't think it is here. That's a shame. That would be cool. No, Tombstone. And that's one of the things when we get over to, is it Kansas? Or Kentucky, where you have like Junction City and Dodge City? Like those names are very iconic from the Vietnam War because they were names of big operations. I do hope we can have bases in it because I'd love to run a trucking company out of Dodge City or Junction City. It just sounds so cool. Ugh. Junction City trucking, yes. I want that. Oh, you bastard! You bloody cunting arse! Stupid traffic lights. We're just leaving Sholo at the moment. We've been there for like 17 sodding hours now, but it's all okay. I also just realised that we have nearly $1 million in the bank, and I can't spend it on anything because I own all the garages and they're all fully stocked up with lorries. So I'm basically just waiting for New Mexico at this point so I can buy all the garages over there. And that's the thing, like at this point all the money I'm making just goes into my savings account. I'd like to spend it on something, you know, like you just end up having all the money in the world and nothing to spend it on, allowing you to buy the whole bloody state whenever they release a new one. But I think that's sort of, you know, not really a fair point to complain about. And we have gone into the desert now, haven't we? And my oh my, we have gone into the desert. This looks like something out of a cowboy movie, doesn't it? Like, all you need is like Billy the Kid and Wyatt Earp and Lucky Luke. That's all the knowledge I have of cowboy movies. Just, I don't know, it's, you know, not really my kind of thing. Like, films are not my kind of thing on the best of days. I do watch films. It's just mostly around Christmas. And mostly centred around Die and Hard. Well, technically that, and also Love Actually, which is the best Christmas film ever made. Like, legitimately, it's really good. Like, it really is a really good Christmas movie. And, like, there's everything. There's funny people, naked people, more funny people. And, you know, it's good. It's a good Christmas film. Shut up, it is. Alright? We're manly men here who watch Love Actually. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, yes, we are. Speed limit 35. Hello to the policeman. Oh, stupid gears. I know how to work a gearbox. Please don't be a policeman nearby. Please don't be a policeman nearby. Oh, bloody train. Stupid, stupid train. Right, there's going to be a right old pain on the bum. Are we going to be allowed through this time? Yes, we are. And the AI is doing what absolutely nobody in real life do, which is wait until the lights have stopped flashing before you enter the crossing. And yeah, we do look to be about clear. Yeah, we are clear. Nobody there, nobody here, nobody anywhere. Speed limit still 35. We're now in Holbrook. Yeah, apparently you need to like do rev matching and that with like Eaton Fullers. I mean, come on. What year is it? 1935. I mean, we've got synchronised gearboxes these days. We don't need none of this old, outdated stuff. It's probably cheaper, yes, but it's worse to use on the operator. I'm all for automatics if I'm driving a lot, which I am. So I'd love an auto. Love it to bits. Less work for me to do, which is generally what it is. It's just nice, it just, you know, changes gears for itself. I don't have to do nothing. I just have to turn the wheel and press 2 pedals. I can do that easy. It's very lovely if you drive in city traffic as well, which I've tried. I like it, it's nice. I get why you buy them. I also understand why you have a manual gearbox, because the manual gearboxes are also very good. Like, you've got more control. Okay, that's called Slampede, which is a terrible name. If you happen to be from Denmark, probably also from the other Scandinavian countries, because that means something entirely different here. And as we're leaving Holbrook, we are entering the motorway system. Alright, go on S-Max. That's not a C-Max, that's an S-Max. We've got to sort of turn wide because we have a trailer, but they sort of follow you quite nicely because you've got the bogey in the middle. So it's all good if I can actually do a gearbox. So yeah, I don't have the rev matching on. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. It just doesn't make sense. The actual band that it works is far too narrow in the game. It needs to be a bit wider. Apparently in real gearboxes you can feel it in the shifter, which you can't hear for logical reasons, and there hasn't been that degree of oh bugger me. Oh yeah. Yeah, in the game you can't feel what you feel in real life, and nobody has made a decent peripheral that actually has full feedback in the shifter yet. But and it's kind of weird that there isn't more peripherals for truck simulators. Like if you look at flight simming, for example, that's got lots of bits and all of that stuff. I mean, they pay for every fucking thing as well. You don't get that in the trucking community. And there's quite a lot of truckers now, isn't it? Like Euro Truck Simulator is pretty big, and American Truck Simulator is also getting bigger and bigger every day. So yeah, it would be nice if we started seeing that. There was the Eaton Fuller shifter that somebody made, but they don't really seem to shift any of them at all. What does that say? Petrified forest. I'm not going into a forest where I'm going to be petrified. This sounds fucking horrible, mate. No, mate, I'm staying down here. I'm not going into the fucking petrified forest. If the bloody trees are afraid, what won't I be? They're bloody stupid anyway. Are we going off here? Oh yeah, because we've got Kentayana listed. Apparently we're going to Albuquerque and Tucumcari as well. Which sounds a bit wrong, but what have you. And we're up to, apparently only up to 1,006 hours on the operating. What about our sleepy go bye-bye? 5 hours drive time, 4 hours getting. So it looks like we're going to make it with good time to take a rest up in Kentayana. We just got to sort of slowly slow it down here. It'll be weird once this is just carrying on. Gears work, please. I've only recently realised that those signs over there mean a full stop up ahead. Took me longer than I care to admit to actually be a thing. Now this is one of those places where a full stop might make sense, but I've got decent visibility here. I can see what's coming on. I don't need to come to a full stop to make that safely. It's just stupid, America. So we're back off the motorway, and what's that over there? That looks like some sort of gas thing, seeing as it's got poles protecting it. Ooh, we got a good old Kenworth coming towards us. That's a nice Kenny, look at that. Red one, red dumper one, probably drives a million miles an hour and doesn't care about anything around it. And who's farming in Arizona? Oh yeah, the desert, famous for being very arable in its soil. Said no one ever, or idiots only. I don't know, I come from a place where it's all very green and lush. I mean, tonight there is a yellow severe weather warning for heavy rain and thunderstorms. I bet you don't get that in bloody... where are we? I was about to say Albuquerque because I saw that on a sign. But we are, of course, in Arizona. Bet you don't get that in Arizona that often, do you? This doesn't look a place that's conducive to lots of rain. Like lots of drought, yes. Rain, not so much. But it does mean that all the farmers are out and about, though, which is absolutely bloody lovely. Loads of combines, loads of tractors driving about, loads of lorries going to and from the fields with containers and dumper trucks, and that is lovely. For a heavy machinery fan, it's a wonderful time of the year because everyone's out and about. Hang on, did somebody just disappear up ahead? Did the lorry just do a fucking vanishing act? I think they did. Was that a... What was that back there? Didn't catch it. Oh well, doesn't matter. Whee! We're going down a hill at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Is that a copper? Don't be a copper. It is! I don't look suspicious, me. I don't have my suspicious hat on today, so they don't care. Get in. The coppers don't give no fucks about this. I will say, though, it's bloody gorgeous this time of day. What time is it anyway? It is 6 in the evening. Bloody gorgeous with this lighting, innit? Absolutely smashing. You do sort of completely understand why people become lorry drivers, also in real life. When you see stuff like this, or you're just out and about on a nice sunny day, when you're out for a drive, you just go, yeah, I totally get why you become a lorry driver if you get to go about and see the world and that. It must be a lovely job. Then again, I'm sort of a bloke who just go, well, the speed limit's there, so I can't go any faster. And if people hassle me for it, then really not my problem. If I were to go faster than the speed limit, I would need blue lights and a siren on my car, which I don't have. Now, if that becomes legal at some point, I'd gladly do it. But at the moment, no. So, signs tell me how fast I'm allowed to go. And that's really it. It's pretty simple, really. You can only go as fast as you're allowed to, otherwise the policemen get angry. And, I mean, if I'm told to break the law, I'll just go to my union and go, yeah, my employer told me to break the law. And they'll just be like, whoa, take a moment there, bro. Did you tell me that your employer wants you to break the law? Oh boy, we're going to have so much fun when we take them to tribunal. They, legitimately, those are people that loves to fuck over employees if they do their employees wrong. It's a wonderful... Or employers if they do their employees wrong. That makes more sense. They're a wonderful thing. I don't know why you wouldn't be in a union. It's good for everyone. Because everyone gets a good deal out of it. We don't end up getting screwed over like you see in other places. America. But we're getting nearer. Let's not try and stir up... Whoa, fuck me in the arsehole. That was low. It's a bloody shame they don't have any sound to them. Okay, we're just veering to the left. Something you don't see happening a lot in America these days. No, we don't. Left wing. Yeah, okay, I just got me political wings all messed up here. We are 1 hour and 58 minutes. We got plenty of time. We're in good time towards Kentayana. With some, what are we carrying anyway? I haven't even bothered looking. Toys! It's for the kids of Kentayana. So if you're a child in Kentayana, I brought you some toys so you can play and have fun. I hope you enjoy those toys. I mean, look at this. It may be an oldish game engine, but it can do a bit of magic when it tries to. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful lighting. Looks stunning. We've got... Yeah, you'd probably need a water tower or two out in the bloody desert, wouldn't you? By the way, who's the pole shot stuck behind? Is somebody stuck back there? Oi, lad! Oi, lad, do you want to go for an overtake at some point? Oh, no, probably not. I think we've got a junction coming up at some point. Yo, so let's have a look at these from the outside. Very long things, aren't they? Look at this. We should probably put on our lights. Very long, very beautiful, very cool. Junction here, not turning. What's up there? Nothing. A mine is up there. Got it. A mine. Oh, slow. No, P7 high. 50 miles an hour around this bend. Probably good enough for us. Let's try and slow it down a bit more. Junction coming up. Oh, a lorry. Carrying pipes. There's a flatbedder. It's one of the Kennys. Like, why'd you get that and not a Pete? Don't understand that one myself. Pete's obviously nicer. Slow. Are we clear? Yeah, we're good. We are good, we're good. We can go towards Farmington. I bet you they've got a farm or two over there, eh? I'll just bring it around here. Yep, I nailed it. I just touched the yellow line. And now I just got to do gears me, which I can. Nobody's gone up me inside, so nobody to be angry about. I saw something on the road which made me angry today. A lorry had just overtaken another lorry, which they're allowed to do. They weren't elephant racing or anything, they were just behaving, you know, it was just a slow lorry being overtaken by a faster lorry. No dramas, you know, happens every day, nothing bad about it. They're legally allowed to do it at that time, so all was fine. But a little Astra, and really, why would you argue if you're driving an Astra, was upset about it and cut him off. To the point that was about, I don't know how much a foot is, but if I take my foot, I could probably just squeeze it in between the lorry and the car. So that's a foot in my mind. And the lorry driver was very unhappy about it, and laid on the horn, and my biggest joy was the fact that I had quite a lot of cars behind me at the point, or a few. I just made sure I closed right up and was right alongside him as he approached the next lorry up ahead so he couldn't pull out. Because I wasn't doing anything illegal, I was accelerating away, but you know, I wasn't going to let him out when he's just been a dick. Usually I'm quite nice with letting people out in that situation. If you're stuck behind a lorry, I'll just ease off the throttle, especially in rush hour. You can just lift off the throttle a bit. They'll just see, oh, okay, boop, boop, out, done and away. Nobody's been inconvenienced, but I've just lifted off there. Couple of seconds lost at the most. People behind me didn't have to brake. It just works fine. It's just a nice thing to do to people because everyone gets along happy if we do it. We share the road, be nice to each other, right? But if you cut off a lorry to the point where the lorry driver has to lay on the horn for you, and potentially, if it's a new enough truck, has to activate its emergency braking system, then boy oh boy, I will not be nice to you. I make bloody sure people behind me were backed up well and good, so there was no gap for that chap, and drove past him, and he was not let out for enough time to just get a bit angry about the situation. So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff you can do if people are dickheads. I didn't legally do anything wrong because I wasn't braking, I wasn't slowing down, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just driving a bit more tactical than normal. And I like doing it because I like lorry drivers. Lorry drivers are nice people, they're good people. And I like to think if I'm ever in need of help on the roadside, that a lorry driver might be willing to help me if I'm nice to them. It's just about being nice to each other, people. It's a very good thing to do. Like, always let lorry drivers out if you can, because, you know, I like to think karma exists, certainly on the roads. Like, someday you might be needing help and they're willing to just help you out there. And the lorry drivers I've spoken to have all been bloody lovely people. So be nice to your lorry drivers and the world is a better place. Like, they're delivering all the stuff we need to use anyway, don't they? So what's the point in getting on their tits? Because we sort of need them. So I know some people who, up until I asked them, well, you like the food, right? Was irrationally angry at farmers who drove on the roads with their tractors because it was slow. I just went, yeah, but do you want to have bread and you want to eat like meat and that? Yeah, I do. Well, they need to be on the road. At which point they, in fairness, they did go, oh yeah, you suppose you're right about that, mate. Yeah, you're entirely right, which I was. I need to think here because I need to work out how I get. Is it? I need to hang on, pause before I go any further. I will just enter remote camera mode because I need to see what we do here in terms of delivery. I've already gone too far in. Please load it up, thank you. Oh, beautiful Pete. Is it around the corner? There it is, and we need to pull in nose first. Yes, indeed. Yeah, there's no way in hell you would ever manage to reverse one of these in real life unless you are a wizard. I mean, I don't even think they do. Once you've got the... I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3 pivot points on this thing. There's no way in hell you're going to manage that. You can sort of do it with 2. Like, if you're really skilled, you can do it with 2, but 3, I mean, you're pushing your luck there. You might as well just unhook the trailers and do them one by one. But we need to do it over here, so we need to be careful. Bring it over, try and get it sorted out, straighten it out, so we bring them all in. And yeah, I think we got it here. Let's just bring up this menu. Let's wait and see here. Are we? Come on, go pling. Go pling, motherfucker. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, we got plenty of room here. Plenty of room here. In the way of John Scottish. But we'll unhook. If I press the right button, we'll wrap up this job. We've got $1 million in the bank. I'm a millionaire, people. And indeed, we have chinky, 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 chink. And finish. And that was it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this look at American Truck Simulator 0.28 beta. Goodbye for now.